Morning, everybody. So, my voice might not sound the best because I've been a little sick again lately, but I'm here. So, I got my nose ring back finally and a better prescription for my glasses, so here we are. Also, I don't think I've ever tasted anything so good as this lavender lemonade that we got just now because we went out to breakfast, and I've never been in that shop before, and it just, I feel like a goddess drinking lavender. I'm not gonna lie, it's absolutely glorious. And then of course I spilled it all over myself in the restaurant because it has 2 straws, and I was like, oh yeah, why does the straw feel so flat? And then all over my shirt. So anyhow, I've come to realize that with or without me noticing, there's been an awful lot of changes, specifically about me and the person who I am. And I thought I'd go over a few of those because it's kind of important, and I sometimes don't even recognize myself as the person that I was and have been for a very long time. The most ridiculous and silly of them being, when I was a kid, we looked up my horoscope and it said some nonsense about wearing an oversized brown shirt, and I was disgusted at the time. I only wore black band shirts, and I was like, ew, who would wear brown? And I was so mad. I was like, that horoscope is completely off. They don't even know me. And here I am, wearing brown, and I like it. I like it a lot. So, that's the most ridiculous, I guess, of what I've noticed changing about myself. And we're not exactly talking about like my entire life really, but like probably the past 10 years or so. And I'm not that old, so that would have been developmental age of like 12-ish when you start picking your own style and your choice of music and such like. So my tastes have changed a lot in food, and the adults tell you it's gonna happen when you're a kid, and you're like, ew, I hate bananas. And you're like, well, when you grow up, you're gonna love them. And I went through a love-hate relationship with tomatoes for a while. I was a kid, and Mom was eating tomatoes, and I'm like, oh yeah, I want some of this. And I was like, these are really not that good. And then I kind of grew back into it. And what I had for breakfast today had 3 of the things that I used to despise as a child: avocado, tomato, and cottage cheese. And I'm like, I would never, ever have eaten this at 16. Or even probably last year. I've been like, ooh, I'm not really a big fan. And many other things change. Your taste in music changes just constantly, or mine does, but I kind of like everything. I've always been that way. I have a good, healthy broadness of music taste. But there's that. There's some music that you definitely grow into. Most of these I used to hate when I was a kid too. Fleetwood Mac, Jethro Tull, Zeppelin. It's like, oh, what is with this? I still don't, and I know everybody's gonna hate me for this, I really don't sit down and listen to a Jimi Hendrix song. It's not my style. Like, yes, I appreciate the guitar work because I also play guitar, but it's just not my style. Those other 3, though, I've really grown into, and it used to be very high on the list of my mother's playlist, and you can see that I get a lot of that stuff from, her side. But now it's just about all I listen to. And as I said, I hardly recognize myself sometimes. About the things that I do and stuff that I wear and things that I enjoy doing kind of just grow and change and mature, and it's a little weird seeing that from, I guess, a first-person perspective, or a third person if you're watching yourself do it. Another thing that I've grown into, that wearing rings, I never was able to do that in high school. I would take them off and play with them and then lose them 10 minutes later. I had a hematite ring that I lost in the wash. Hematite usually breaks really easy when I'm wearing it. Guess I'm not that careful. But just because I don't recognize the person that I used to be doesn't mean it's a bad change. It's just a little, I don't know, it's not necessarily unsettling, but it's kind of unusual, I guess, to see yourself change without really being a part of it. You don't make the conscious decision, hey, I'm going to enjoy doing this thing now. And probably pretty soon I'm going to enjoy sitting and crocheting all day and watching Real Housewives or something. That's when I'll be scared, because I'm not ready to be in granny mode yet. Even though, I go to bed early and don't drink espresso on weekdays. Or caffeine at all, for that matter. I really am an old lady. I really am. And I'm not even going to fight it, because it's true. Anyhow, I thought I had a lot more to talk about on this. But also the growing spiritually part. I'm not really sure. There was a time when I was sure that I wasn't going to cast any circles, and I still feel that way because it's not really it's not my mode, I guess, of what I do. But I find out I'm open to a lot more things, and not just in witchcraft or spell work or learning or anything. And I'm kind of excited to see how it continues to progress, because I never would have thought a lot of this stuff was even possible for me to enjoy, to like, to even accept, I guess. And you're kind of stuck in one mindset of going, this is who I am. I'm not exceeding these boundaries at all because I know who I am. It makes it a little difficult to actually know who you are if your tastes just keep changing and you say yes to things that you never would have thought possible. So, just a little bit of a mind fuck there that I have to get out, I guess. Anyhow, I hope everyone is doing well. Oh, we finally bottled the mead, and I should have brought a bottle in here. I said it was going to be ready by Ostara. We kind of jumped the gun a little bit because I ordered the bottles to put them in. Full disclosure, though, it doesn't really taste very good. Like, yes, it tastes like alcohol. That part, we succeeded. We did an orange cinnamon, though, and I don't really know. In theory, the flavors work really great together, but it didn't really end up tasting like orange or cinnamon. I really want to start a blackberry mead, because you are legally allowed to make up to 200 gallons of mead per year if there's 2 people living in the house. If it's just one person, you can make 100 gallons, but literally we just made 1 gallon so far, and the year just started. I'm not going to make 100 or 200 gallons, and I know that. It takes too long to ferment, and I'm not buying that many glass bottles. But we can if we want to. So I'm going to make blackberry, because I still have a lot of blackberries left over from last year, even after I made the jam. And so yeah, I was actually really proud of it, and I forgot to put the picture on Instagram because I've kind of been having mental health days and physical health days. Sometimes it's important to take some time off and heal yourself. So I've been a little bit behind, and I know that, and I haven't seen you guys for weeks. But as usual, if I don't have that many things lined up on my to-do list, then I can get some actual work done. I wrote a short story for the first time in probably over a year that I sat down and wrote and finished one. So some things are progressing and some things are falling behind. Anyhow, it was lovely to see everyone, and I Hope to be back soon. Blessed be.